How we doing on your first podcast? This is going to be Josiah, and I'm super happy to deliver massive results to you and put you first today. Amen. Super happy, super happy. A real privilege to be able to put you first. Obviously means everything to me. I can't imagine anything else. Paying it forward means everything. I can't imagine the time it took to gather the resources to allow me to be me. So I want to say that I'm happy to pay it forward and be able to put you first today. Amen. So as always, super grateful, super blessed as always, able to do my absolute best, able to stay consistent, able to stay motivated, able to keep doing my absolute best to remain within justice, remain within standards of the paradigms we've established, which is order, justice, and liberty. I'm super happy that we are liberated in some form or fashion through time's gracious transcendence. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I might as well get straight into it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, time's transcendence. Amen. Right away, that's the only way to explain how complete it is. Amen. So I'm super happy, super blessed as always. Time's transcendence. Amen. After that, there's just no explaining. There's no way to understand it after that. Amen. So I'm super happy, super blessed, super consistent, always going to keep doing my best. And always going to appreciate time's transcendence. Ladies and gentlemen, time's transcendence allows us a lot of clarity, a lot of motivation, and a lot of consistency. Amen. That is something we just cannot overlook. To overlook time's transcendence every single day and have no motivation to get things done is a sin. And I do not abide by sin. Amen. So I'm super happy that I'm able to keep doing my absolute best, able to bring results to you, able to put you first, because I believe that's kind of what it's simultaneously doing as it's transcending itself. Amen. Again, time's transcendence. Amen. So I'm super happy that through time's transcendence, I'm liberated. Through time's transcendence, I'm able to have a quality amount of clarity to be able to be here in front of you today and be happy by that as well, and be massively motivated by that clarity, because I see nothing but clarity around me. Because when I start noticing things, I can't notice anything else but the clarity that has been established for me through time transcendence. So amen. Super blessed as always, able to keep doing my absolute best, because why not? Why not do your absolute best with the time given to you? Obviously, people have free time, but free time is something that could be obviously invested in to transcend limitations that you believe are imposed upon you. Right now, there are no limitations towards time. There are no limitations towards time. So I'm super happy and super blessed as always, able to keep doing my absolute best, stay motivated, stay consistent, stay happy, stay true, stay motivated. Always able to keep doing my best, always able to stay sovereign. Even now, I want to be appreciative that time has given me so much. I can never really mistake it. The grace that we have at this current moment. Even now, I want to appreciate the blessings that I have in this current moment. I want to be super happy and motivated the fact that I'm able to put you first today, because it seems that's what time transcendence allows us to be able to do every single day. Put each other first as a service to the community. Time transcendence is a service, and that's just about it. The service that its transcendence provides is massive and super big and super kind of phenomenal. We can never overlook this. It's something very grand, something to not really overlook. Able to stay blessed, able to stay consistent no matter what, able to stay super blessed as always, able to stay consistent, stay motivated, stay happy, always able to keep doing my best, able to keep doing my best, and stay sovereign. Even me now, I never really want to really overlook this. I want to be super happy and consistent as always, be able to keep doing my absolute best. I want to stay sovereign as well. I want to say that my independence, which has a declaration on it, is also sovereign by time's transcendence. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are all sovereign through time. Let me repeat one more time. You are all sovereign through time's transcendence. Let me repeat this one more time. You are all sovereign through time's transcendence. Amen. Super happy to be able to be here today and have clarity today, because it seems that's what time transcendence allows. Although I have my own independence, I can say I'm liberated, although I may not be. I believe that in some form or fashion, we're allowed to be able to put ourselves first whenever it comes to everyday scenarios, which is very unique. But also, it's very unique to say that we're also able to have clarity, which is a massive thing, because You First podcast, if I didn't have clarity, there's no way to communicate with you. There's no way to get understanding with you. And there's no way to understand a situation that you may need to know, just in case we don't really get the bigger picture of what's going on. That is something very unique to be able to think about. And that's something to appreciate, because we can never appreciate that time is not a depreciating asset at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I will repeat, time is not a depreciating asset. When diamond stays in a coal mine for hundreds of eons, that thing appreciates so much value to the point where you can never really just walk into a store and just grab one and think, whoa, hold on, I can walk. This cost me nothing. Let me just get it and go. And no, ladies and gentlemen, that's not how it works. I'm confident there's a lot of value on that. And amen. Because Time's Transcendence shows there's way more valuable things than you could possibly understand. And amen. Obviously, there are security. Well, obviously, we not even that. No. Time's Transcendence allows these type of blessings upon us, as when it comes to what we do every day. Time's Transcendence allows this type of motivation. All this grace that we have comes through Time's Transcendence. Even now, I wouldn't really understand if we didn't have grace right now. Imagine in this very moment, my hair is constantly attacking my face, and there's nothing I could do about it. I appreciate that the grace of time allows my hair some type of steady flow, so that I'm able to just sit here and have clarity towards putting you first, and able to be happy by that and understand the privilege that is. Amen. So I'm super happy, super blessed as always. Time's Transcendence allows even things like we can say that whenever it comes to value in its own, we can say value is the result of Time's Transcendence. Amen. I have to explain it like this. Super happy, ladies and gentlemen. Super happy to explain that time's transcendence is the result of value. Even now, I have all this value, or some way I have value in who I am as an individual because of Time's Transcendence. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll repeat one more time. I have all this value as a result of Time's Transcendence. Although I have my own independence, which has a declaration on it. Amen to that. Amen. That does not overlook the fact that if Time's Transcendence wasn't that real, it would be a shame to understand that I wouldn't really be within this moment, even now, being able to have this type of clarity, have this type of grace, have this type of mercy bestowed on my life, we can say that, and have this type of grace understood by the sum of my understanding and my result of being here. Even now, I'm super grateful, super blessed as always to stay happy, stay motivated, stay within Time's Transcendence. Because, ladies and gentlemen, everything that we do not remember is behind us. Everything that we constantly transcend every single day, and I mean, ladies and gentlemen, like to almost what we can understand. We, as time transcendence, are constantly transcending all limitations. So there are no such thing as limitations. Ladies and gentlemen, I will repeat one more time. There is no such thing as limitations. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. There is no such thing as limitations. When you move forward, and I mean like within like a minute way of forward, you are constantly transcending all limitations. When I think that I'm not able to have some type of clarity, even in this moment now, whenever I think about, wait a minute, okay, so I'm in this very moment right now and I believe I don't have clarity. Let me sit and think about this. There's clarity. So, amen. I'm super happy to be able to say that in this very moment now, yup, that's understood. It's not that the clarity vanished, it's that it's still here. And it's something astonishing to think about. And constantly transcending along with that clarity allows me grace and allows me forward momentum to understand that my potential is limitless. And my potential is something that's able to transcend limitation, which means limitation doesn't exist. I believe that's kind of what it is. Although, let me check one more time. Is there clarity? Yep, there's clarity. Amen. So I'm super happy, super motivated, super consistent, and super blessed. Yes, it's a blessing. And I'm super happy to be part of Time's Transcendence because I get to be on the journey and experience all that's worthwhile from Time's Transcendence. Amen. So I'm super blessed as always, able to be consistent, able to keep doing able to do my absolute best, because why not? Why not do my absolute best? Why not be the best version of myself? Why not be consistent? Why not be the change that I want to see in the world? Why not be the example of the change that I want to see in the world? What a ungrateful thing to do, to be able to waste your time on nonsense when we have so much clarity. Yep, there's clarity. Amen. So I'm super happy and super blessed, and I'm just super grateful to be able to understand these type of qualities and understand that there's clarity on this adventure, which means this adventure means something. Ladies and gentlemen, I will repeat one more time. There's clarity in this adventure, which means this adventure means something. Ladies and gentlemen, I will repeat one more time. There's clarity on this adventure, which means this adventure means something. Amen. So we can never mistake that there's value in all that we do, transcendence in all that we do, and grace and blessings in all that we do. Amen to that. So I'm super grateful and super happy to put you first today and pay it forward. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, amen. Paying it forward means a lot to me. And it's a real privilege to be able to have this type of clarity, to be able to pay it forward. Because it's a bit difficult to repay all that grace and time back. Amen. But there's something scary to think about if you wanted to think about that. Amen. So I'm super grateful and super blessed as always to keep doing my absolute best and be able to put you first today. Honestly, it's a privilege. It's something monumental. It's something that I'll never be able to understand at all. The transcendence and the grace of time is something I'll never be able to understand at all. It's a blessing. It's something that I want to consider every single day, and it's something I want to be grateful for every single day. I will never overlook it. Even with we can say rising of the sun, even that. First, it's proving that heaven is established. And second, it's constantly transcending time. Imagine the sun was a rock and just stood in the middle of that spirit that we know and didn't emit any light, well, then we couldn't transcend with the sunlight that it gave us, which means humanity doesn't exist. So, with time's transcendence and the clarity that it gives us through its transcendence means yep, there's clarity. So, amen. Super blessed, super happy, super privileged, and never going to overlook that. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josiah, and it's an extreme honor and privilege to be able to put you first today, because paying back the energy that the sun gives us to survive is impossible. Amen. As always, it's something to think about, and it's something to not overlook. I can't imagine that it's expecting its return on investment, and I can't imagine the outcome on its return on investment, which may be disappointing, but we are constantly transcending, and we are allowed grace with our transcendence. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, do not fear. The sun is here. So super happy and blessed, and do not fear. Time's transcendence is here. So I'm super grateful and super blessed as always, and super grateful and gonna keep doing my best. So as always, it's Josiah, and I'm super happy to be able to put you first today. It is a real privilege and an honor, and I'll never take it for granted for anything in the world. And I always want to understand what a privilege it is to be able to be here today, obviously delivering results to you and putting you first to be able to pay it forward for all the times where it wasn't possible to see that somebody could pay it forward. So amen. As always, never forget how complete you guys are. Never forget how complete you are. And never forget how blessed your transcendence is. As always, amen.